Heyo! Yeah! Welcome to Fantasy Sports Addicts Anonymous. My name is Tom. I'm a fantasy sports addict. And I just wanted to take a second tonight, let you guys know. I posted an article on the website today about the 2016-2017 fantasy basketball playoff schedules. Most fantasy basketball teams or leagues do their playoffs week 21 through 22 on Yahoo. This coincides with what's actually weeks 21 through 23. So 21 through 23 of the regular season NBA schedule are weeks 20 through 22 for fantasy purposes. So what I've done is I've gone ahead and taken a look. You can find the, grids and schedules out there of all the regular season games for each team. And what I've done is compiled the data. You can find similar websites out there everywhere that have the same data, basically. But I kind of compiled it into little useful chunks, gave you the highlights and, what it really means. But basically, I just want to go over that with you right now. So what I'll do is I'll show you guys our website real quick. And what you'll see is, bam, right here. Hopefully, y'all can see it. What I'm showing you is a grid. It should have been a better little spreadsheet table sort of thing, but the HTML on our website didn't work, so we're addicts, not experts. Anyways, basically what you can look at and see here is weeks 20 through 22 of the fantasy schedule, which are the 3 weeks of the playoffs, the standard 16 playoffs. You're going to see at the bottom of each team the total number of games. That's really what you want to pay attention to. Week by week, there is some useful information there. Like, for instance, Clippers have 5 games played in the second week of the playoffs, second round of the playoffs, and of course, the Knicks have 2 games played in the first round. So that's something to pay attention to. But more than that, you want to pay attention to things like total games played. So like Brooklyn with 12 games, the Clippers obviously 12 games, Washington 12 games, Milwaukee 12 games. So you can use this information to your advantage in coming down the stretch for your fantasy basketball teams. Obviously, as I said, there's 4 teams playing 12 games, and there's a whole bunch of teams playing 11 games. So that means you're not really going to get hurt too bad. You should have enough players to get you through the playoffs, but it's really about managing the talent you have and balancing it with free agent acquisitions and spot starts. So on this post I've got, which is fantasysportsaddicts.com/NBA playoffs 2017, because it will be 2017 when the playoffs start. So thought I'd go ahead and do that. But I've got a week by week breakdown so you can see who's playing what games in week 20, week 21, 22. And, I kind of mentioned about how much this really matters. So let's go back up just so you can see it again for a second. This is available, of course, on our website and pretty much anywhere else on the internet that does fantasy basketball. Just go look for it. I'll post a link in the comments section down below. Just wanted to give you a heads up that we have it if you need to refer to it. And, what's it really worth? I mean, you're not going to draft your teams based on this knowledge. I mean, you'd be silly to be worrying about games you may not even play in, when you're doing your draft. But like I said, as you're coming down the stretch, maybe it's trade deadline. It's time to consider making moves, and you've got a couple of New York Knicks players, and you're like the 7th or 8th place team, so you're going to have an early. You're going to have to play your way into the playoffs essentially, and that first week will be crucial to you moving on. You may want to trade your Carmelo Anthony and get some other players that are playing more games that week, or do like a 2-for-1. But really where this is going to come in handy more than anything, like I said before, is your free agent acquisitions and your spot starts. So those weeks where maybe, your guy plays 3 games in that week, whatever week it happens to be, maybe it's the final week, okay? So your guy plays 3 games. He's already played 2, and you have 1 game left, but you can go out and maybe add like a scrub or like some bench guy or stat specialist. They still play 2 or 3 more games that week, perhaps. Those 2 or 3 more games will mean more than the 1 game out of the guy you're dropping in most cases. Coming down the stretch in a head-to-head scenario for fantasy championship, it really all is about bulk stats. I mean, literally, we've said it over and over, but it's about quantity, not quality. So, having this really sexy team full of guys that aren't playing for you doesn't do you much good when you got somebody who's making moves and streaming players, and they're just going to manage you out the window. Forget your percentages at this point. It's just about collecting bulk counting stats for most head-to-head leagues. So just go out there and slam players, pick them up, drop them aggressively. This is where active and aggressive comes in handy. And having this information is just another tool in your toolbox. Again, you can get a more in-depth look at it from our website, fantasysportsaddicts.com/NBA Playoffs 2017. Hopefully that's a little bit of useful information for you guys. Again, I didn't go and do it very in-depth here on the YouTube channel. We'll post the link down below. And if you have any questions about it or you need to refer back to it or anything, just hit us up. In the meantime, since it's draft season, fantasy gods, please grant me the serenity to set my ideal lineups once I've drafted. Encouraged to add drop in the fantasy playoffs aggressively, and the wisdom, as always, to make good trades heading into the fantasy playoffs, bearing in mind the schedule. Okay, so hopefully that's helpful. If you have any questions or comments, or you just want to hang out and jump into a draft of any sport, doesn't matter which, fantasysportsaddicts.com is the website. You can hit us up on Twitter at letter F, letter S, the word double, letter A out of SAA. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time. Coming up next, I will have some invites to, well, not invites, actually it'll be the updates about draft time, for the FSAA basketball leagues coming up this weekend. So thanks guys for watching. Leave a comment, thumbs up. We'll see you next time.